So, Wuthering Waves, being a fast, upcoming, and growing game, has had its fair share of a couple of issues with some kind of not very nice people. Now, that could range from a, multitude of things. Obviously, one of the main ones being leakers, which I've talked about, quite a bit on this channel. Essentially, Wuthering Waves has a big problem to do with leakers, but also just people spreading misinformation and also just kind of deceiving some people, especially over in China. And while Wuthering Waves has been working hard behind the scenes and actually doing some lawsuits, and one literally just came out a couple of minutes ago, and it's kind of crazy. Now, obviously, this is a tweet from Naoshiro, pretty much translating this. It says, PSA, a user on my job listing platform was spreading false job postings information about Kuro Games job listing, so Kuro Games sued their platform. So yeah, it seems like I think it's a job listing platform, and they've been spreading some kind of stuff. Now, obviously, a lot of people might be asking, well, why didn't they go after the person themselves? Well, I think what Kuro Games is trying to aim at here is the overall moderation system and the kind of implementations that they've got in place in the first place on this my job listing platform, because yeah, mainly what it is, them going after the company rather than the user. Now, they say Kuro actually wins the second instance lawsuit against My. This was actually put out today at 6 p.m. Kuro Games legal department. A certain internet user published false and defamatory information about Kuro Games on My platform. After multiple unsuccessful complaints, our company filed a lawsuit in accordance with the law. So it seems like this has been going on for a little while. We haven't actually heard anything about this. There's been lots of cases in the past, for example, of some people creating fake information about Kuro Games and signing up to stuff. We haven't really heard anything to do with My. At least I haven't personally. And yeah, it seems like they've been trying and complaining to this company to kind of, get them to ban this user and to sort out their moderation system. But they still haven't budged, which obviously moved them to actually file a lawsuit against them. Now, they say in April 2025, the Guangzhou Intellectual Property Court made a final ruling determining that the information posted by the internet user was seriously inaccurate and damaged our company's business reputation. The My platform, by actively spreading false information, was found to have committed commercial defamation, which is absolutely crazy. Obviously it's a massive deal, and I think that My should have done a lot more to kind of police and moderate this kind of stuff whenever it comes to people spreading false information. And the fact that they didn't kind of, I guess it proves that they have been kind of, working to kind of just put up whatever they can on their site, even if the information is false. And well, now they've been found of committing commercial defamation. Now they say, accordingly, the court ruled that My must compensate our company with 200,000 RMB and issue a public statement to eliminate the negative impact. Now, and after a quick Google search, it's actually £21,000, which would be around about $25,000, which again is pretty insane. That's a large amount. Now, obviously, they say the internet is not a lawless place. We call on all online platform and internet users to take this case as a warning, respect the lawful rights of others, fulfill legal obligations, consciously resist the spread of rumors, and work together to create a clean and harmonious online environment. Kuro Game Legal Department. So obviously, this is also being used, slightly as a threat to any other companies thinking about doing something similar to what My have done. And, to kind of prove that, this isn't just a space online where you can say whatever you want and do whatever you want. There will be consequences for what you do. And I think that's a very important thing that, Wuthering Waves is trying to get across there, especially in terms of protecting their company. And I think that is one of the reasons why they have publicly posted this over on their page. I'm pretty sure this is over on Bilibili. Some people might be thinking, well, why do we have to know about all of this legal proceedings? Well, I think it is serving as a warning to any other companies or any other people trying to act out against Wuthering Waves and trying to be malicious behind the scenes. I think they're saying, hey, don't do this or else you might end up like My, which honestly, I think is actually a pretty good way of going about it. And I wish, we do see even more cases like this if they do happen. Obviously, I don't want to see more cases like this happen, but if any other cases were to happen in the future, I hope that Wuthering Waves also uses them as an example to deter even more people, because this would definitely deter a lot of people from even, kind of crossing Kuro Games. They might, obviously they might turn their attention towards another game or another company, but in terms of keeping Kuro Games safe and keeping Wuthering Waves safe as a whole and punishing Grey Revan and, all of the other games, it's going to be really beneficial to that. And I think that honestly, you know, it's going to deter a lot of people from trying to purposely go after them. And yeah, here's the kind of post up here. Obviously, people say massive fake leaks equals hurt customer. Now job vacancy scan at Kuro, hurt company. Yeah, again, I feel like, you know, some people might take this as like a, oh, it's not that serious, but I do think it's pretty serious. I don't really know what a fake job listing would actually kind of like partake in. You know, what would actually happen if someone was to, you know, incorrectly kind of sign up for a job? Would it be that they had just taken their information? Would it be that, you know, they're just taking away jobs from Kuro Games, something like that? I don't know, but it's kind of crazy to see. And obviously, we don't really see this stuff happen with many other gacha game companies. I don't think they're as transparent with the lawsuits that they take. Obviously, you know, we've had a couple of instances with like Genshin Impact in the past, kind of going after their leakers, everything like that. And I hope that, you know, Wuthering Waves does do the same in regards to this, because obviously this isn't a leaker case. This isn't really even someone that plays the game at all. It's more of a user who's just been spreading fake, false job postings, you know? Whereas, you know, we do have many cases at the moment, I've talked about it in many videos, of pretty much, you know, these people going around and leaking in-game footage, whether it's, you know, they're working for Kuro Games themselves and leaking it before, or whether they're going ahead and doing some other things in the background and leaking that also. I think that, yeah, they should also take legal action against them and provide them with a little bit of justice, because, you know, as I said, we've seen Genshin Impact do this many times. Now, should they go as far as suing them for like millions of dollars, which, as I said, Hoyoverse has done before? I don't think so. I think they should sue them for a bit to at least scare a lot of people from going off. But, you know, it would be nice if we could get more updates on this kind of stuff, and if we could get more people kind of posting about this, because it's just more important to kind of, you know, get the full context of what's going on behind, you know, Wuthering Waves, what's going on behind Kuro Games, and how they're taking action to deal with these bad actors. Obviously, yeah, there's a lot of other people as well, kind of in the replies, you know, they're saying 27.7k for anybody else wondering. So again, it is great to see that this kind of stuff is happening behind the scenes, that Kuro Games is trying to protect their game. And yeah, maybe we'll see more, maybe we won't, but let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this. Do you think that Kuro Games, you know, has a right to defend this kind of stuff? Because I think they definitely do. They definitely have a right to go ahead and, you know, go after these companies that are pretty much spreading this false stuff about them. You know, it's bad enough having players and having people spread false information about you and putting it on like Twitter or something, but it's even worse whenever you got people that are like full-on companies doing this kind of stuff to you, and they deserve every right to go ahead and sue them, to get a lawsuit out of them, and to essentially prevent a lot of other companies from also trying to take advantage of this, because again, it's just terrible, and it's just not going to help out Wuthering Waves. And they do say here that it has caused damage and business reputation, like inaccuracies and stuff like that, which isn't great at all. And, you know, it needs to change. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And also go to GameStop, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. They've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. I definitely recommend checking it out, because again, ton of new events, ton of new stuff. Go over there, be down in the link in the description down below. And yeah, overall, pretty crazy situation, and I'll definitely keep you guys up to date if anything else is to happen. But yeah, that's about all I got, and I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.